Hello everyone, this is Jessica Brigden of Jess B Creative Cardiology, and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 9. I can't believe it's been 9 weeks already since we started our little live video series. I'm currently out of town, but I didn't want to miss our videos, so I've brought some supplies with me. First things first is the winner of last week's From the Heart Friday giveaway. And so that is Mary Russell Gray. Congratulations, Mary. If you want to comment, send me a message with which card variation you prefer from these To a Wild Rose cards. We did the Melon Mambo with the gorgeous grape enamel dots there. And then we also did the Highland Heather with the Melon Mambo glitter dots. So whichever card you like, just message me and I'll send that out to you. All right, so this week, just change up my new hostess code for August is 62KZKR4N. I accidentally closed out the other host code from earlier in the month, so new code for going forward. All right, so last week I had mentioned that I would do a tutorial for the little bird cage, the little Bird Ballad bird cage that I had made for my presentation at Stampin' Up's onstage local event in Atlantic City back in April. That tutorial is finally finished. I have uploaded that to YouTube as a separate video, and that way I could show you a card project also with the Bird Ballad products today. So again, the bird cage tutorial is in a separate YouTube, my bird's flying away, is in a separate tutorial. It is a little rough. I made that here while I was on the road, and I accidentally forgot to pack a couple of essential supplies with me, so it's a little rough, but again, when you stamp with me, it's all real all the time. So today I wanted to show you this adorable little Bird Ballad card. It's loved and chopped a little bit of the designer series paper. So when I did the bird cage, I used this little stripy strip to decorate the base of the cage. And so what I've done here, flip this out, is taken that stripy paper and used the bird side to create this cute little card. So this was one of the ones that was up on my display at Onstage, but I thought I would change up the color scheme for you a little bit. So on this one I used the Bermuda Bay with the basic gray, and then a little bit of Calypso Coral here, and then some more Bermuda Bay. So today I thought I would change it up. There's so many wonderful colors in this paper, so I've got all my little squares printed out here, but basic black, basic gray, Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, Crumb Cake, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Smoky Slate, Soft Suede, and Whisper White. So you can pretty much use any colors you want with this designer series paper. So I have pulled out some Daffodil Delight to use as my card base. So I have cut my cardstock in half here at the 5.5 inch mark. So my card is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, so that when it's folded there, it's 4.25 by 5.5. All right, so that is my card base, and I have cut some Calypso Coral a little bit smaller. It's 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 4 by 5.25. I'm going ahead and snail that together here. Alright, so this is a quick and simple card. And again, it's about of 1/4 inch border all the way around. Alright, and then I've cut my little birdie paper here. Oh, I didn't trim this, and I didn't bring my paper cutter. Alright, so you get the idea. It should be is the key. Should be 3 3/4 by 5. So let me see here. I'm not very good at eyeballing with my scissors and my snips. In fact, what did I do with my snips? There, in here somewhere. All right, so we're improvising, right? So today I'm going to, we're gonna just go ahead and eyeball this. 1/4 of an inch. All right, don't breathe here. I will try not to. See, this is why I stamp, because I can't draw. I can't do anything in a straight line, but that sounds pretty close. All right, that looks like a spider. It's a bird foot, but it looks like a spider. So I'm gonna cut that off the top instead. So again, because I miscut in preparation to bring these supplies with me. All right, that's fairly straight. This is a card you're going to want to send to somebody who sees a little crooked. All right, so we're just gonna make the most of it here. That's the thing, it's homemade, right? It's supposed to have all those little loving imperfections in them. So you get the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and tape this down. All right, so just don't look too close. All right, hopefully I cut my other little pieces correctly. This is a piece of Pool Party cardstock, which I've cut at 1 inch, and this 1 inch by 4 inch. And well, you've already seen me cut and seen that I can't do that straight. So I am using my banner, my triple banner punch. Love this. So that 1 inch piece should slide right into the center all the way. And I'm gonna crunch that so it gives me that perfectly equal little flagged end. And then this little strip of Whisper White, this one, so my base was 1 inch, so this is a 3/4 inch strip, and it wasn't quite 4 inches. I think I cut that at 3 3/4. So because our opening here is 1 inch, it doesn't sit perfectly. So I'm gonna slide that in there all the way, okay, until it can't go anymore. I'm actually gonna turn that over, and that way I can line it up in there and hopefully get that at about the center. Okay, so let's see how I did here, and it looks like did pretty good. All right, so the base flag here was 1 inch by 4 inch, and then we cut off the end with our triple banner punch, and the white layer was 0.75, so 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4, because I wanted it to be 1/4 of an inch smaller all the way around. All right, so this triple banner punch, it's like my most used punch ever. All right, so I wanted just a little bit of contrast here. So this time I'm going to stamp in the Calypso Coral, and I love the sweet greetings here in the Free as a Bird stamp, but I do need something skinny here so that it fits on my little banner. Again, I am going to, you've seen how crooked I am tonight, so I'm going to stamp this first before gluing anything down. Whew, that came out great. Just because paper has 2 sides, so if you flub one up, you've got a second chance there on the back. All right, so to do that, I'm going to dab off my, get my arm out of the way, but dab off my stamp on my chamois over here. Chamois is great to travel with, because then you don't have to worry, especially if you're flying, then you don't have to worry about your Stampin' Mist cleaner if you are putting that in your carry-on bag, because the airlines do limit, oops, the amount of liquid that you can carry. All right, so try to get this lined up on here. Okay. So not too bad. I'm going to use some dimensionals here. Dimensionals are my best friend. And I like to put 3 on when I do a banner because you don't want it to buckle in the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and move those. All right, so it looks good. All right, I want to cut that little little guy's head off, but maybe I can sneak it right in here between them. Oops, he's gonna be headless, but oh well. All right, so I'm gonna tack that right there. And then this one I had some fun decorative pieces. Let's see, I did not bring the things. I had actually stamped this flower, the little flower image in the stamp set, and colored it with my Bermuda Bay blends and added a few little pearls. But I don't have that today. In fact, but I do have my little Bird Ballad trinkets, which these are so adorable. Little bows and the little like feathers, and we've got keys in there, which I use the key on the bird cage to unlock the door of the cage. But I think we'll use a pretty little flower. That would look really cute there. Okay, so these are in like an antique brass. And let me see. I like having some of the little feathery bits there. So whatever little thread you've got. So I'm gonna pull out some of this little copper thread that I have, and the hardest part is finding the end. But once you do, I like to wad that around 3 or 4 times. Just gonna trim that off with my snips. And then, so it's caught there in the middle. I'm going to gather that in the center, and then it does kind of twist on its own. So I'm gonna catch that, grab my glue dots. All right, so I'm gonna stick that gather right, I stuck it right in the center of the glue dot, and it actually peeled right off on my finger. So I'm gonna stick that up here on my card where I want my trinket to go. I am going to use an extra glue dot on the trinket itself because I do want to make sure it stays secure, but because that's, oops, came undone here, stick that down. See, this is why I put extra on the trinket. All right, so now that it's all in place, then you can kind of spread it out. And when I make little messes like this, I like to call them the little bird's nest on a page, because if you've ever seen a bird little building a nest or carrying little feathers and sticks and twigs in its mouth, they've always got little itty bitty bits, and they always stick out the little sides of their nests. So I think that looks cute, and it's an easier way to kind of get it a little more controlled and go where you want it on there. So it can be as wispy as you want, or a little more controlled. All right, so again, this was the Bird Ballad Bird Designer Series paper here. We've got the Bermuda Bay version with a basic gray and a stamped and colored flower. And then today we've got the Daffodil Delight with Calypso Coral, a little bit of Pool Party, and the Bird Ballad trinket on there. So that's a quick and easy card for you, a little way to love and chop some of that beautiful designer series paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorites, so I was so pleased when that's what I received to work with for Stampin' Up's On Stage. And definitely be sure to check out my other tutorial for the bird cage that's up there on YouTube. And I even have a tutorial for the little, I call it my toaster tong bow there, that I actually use my little toaster tongs for. Okay, that makes the perfect little bow. All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning in here on From the Heart Friday. I hope you'll join me live next week. Be sure to like and share these videos. Leave me some comments so that I know that you're there. And then go ahead and shop my online store. My August host code 62KZKR4N. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.